Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Butt Fucking Buddies podcast. My name is...
I do not consent. I do not consent.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to try something a little different here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the totally awesome podcast, the TAP, the worst podcast ever. So bad it'll make you tap out. There was a lot of submissions on this show. We're going to be reviewing SummerSlam 2021. My name is JoshAgeddon, the owner and proprietor of TAW Gaming, the Monster Energy Braun Strowman Fan Club, and SCCG. But I cannot review this gargantuan show alone. Here, my helper, as it were. I literally blanked out and I could not think of a word besides helper. My partner in crime, this time it's not Sean McCarty, your Colonial Champion, but we will mention him in a second. The Bay-Area Brawler himself, Skyler Greenberg. What's up, man?
See, I try to tap out, but this is the type of podcast where even if I do tap out, I still have to be here.
That doesn't mean I have to stop.
Exactly.
Oh, man. So before we bring in our third man, as it were, what are your overall thoughts on SummerSlam 2021?
I'm glad you asked. I'm going to give you my opinion, even if you don't want to listen to it, because I'm WWE. Anyways, this show was a typical WWE big event pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is that there was stuff that was good, there was stuff that was bad, and then there was stuff that just straight out made you mad. Yes. And this show had a little bit of everything. That's the thing about WWE. They appeal to everyone. So everyone gets a little bit of something. The problem is that little bit of everything means that there has to be something stupid on this show, and we'll get to it.
Yeah, I very much agree. I thought that this was a mixed bag, more on the good side, because there were some great matches on the show. And also, just something that I thought was very interesting about the show is something that I've always noticed, but it really was just illustrated very well on this show. For the most part, we complain about the booking of this show all the time. But for the most part, with some exceptions, the men's booking tonight was relatively fine.
But if you noticed, with the men's booking, half of it came from NWL and ACPW.
That is true. That is
and
true.
WWE. You're receiving a cease and desist letter in the mail as we speak.
Omega Elfberg is on the case.
Omega Elf angry. Omega Elf crush. Goldberg.
Omega Elfberg also is tag team partners with Santa Claus on TAW, and I don't like it.
Figures. You need to get Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and make that a 6-man tag.
Oh, God. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and his six-pack. But anyways, but yeah, what I was saying was, like, for the most part, the men's booking was fine. And the men's matches were either okay, good, or fantastic. The women's booking on this show was goddamn awful.
I feel bad for the women at this point.
Me too.
It's not even that I'm angry at them anymore, except for one exception, which I'll get to.
Two exceptions.
Well, for me it's one, but I'll grant you two. But the women, for the most part, I feel so bad for all of them.
I swear to God, WWE hates the fact that it has a women's division. They
can't accept it anymore.
It's so terrible. It is so terrible. Like, literally, the best women's match on the show was a triple threat match that I did not care about at all.
And that was debatable, okay? That's debatable.
But anyway, so, our impressions of the show, I thought it was alright. Skyler thinks it's a mixed bag, so basically a mixed bag. But, once again, we are not alone here at the booth. We have a third man joining us in note form because, real quick, very serious real quick, Sean has some personal issues going on which prevented him from attending. Plus, there's a hurricane nearby where he is, so good luck with Sean.
Is he standing back because the hurricane's coming through?
Quite literally, the hurricane is coming through, and it's choking bitches out. And The Rock is not a fan of it. But yeah, so keep your boy, your Colonial Champion, Sean McCarty, in your thoughts and prayers, ladies and gentlemen. He's going through some issues that we're not going to get into because that is not our place, but keep him in your thoughts. But
if you want to hear more about it, you can go to the CMP podcast, and there's a short video explaining the situation.
Yes. But Sean has left notes for both me and Skyler.
Because he can't Get off the fucking gimmick.
Nope. We are going to milk this until the cow is dead.
I just think, I'm the one that started this gimmick. I don't even use it anymore. It's your guys' thing now.
We absolutely demolished it.
Anyways, go ahead.
So, Old Man Note Taker's SummerSlam 2021 review. What the fuck is up, fucknuts? Old Man Note Taker's here to review your reviews, and let me tell you what, both of you are wrong and your opinions are stupid and invalid. Thank God, Allah, Vishnu, and Zeus, and all the other fantastic Sesame Street characters up there in the clouds that you chose me to reign in this show and provide you with a review that the buck-toothed viewers of TAP can be proud of. Now, to pass over the responsibility of providing quality, readable material over to the man who reads like an auctioneer in training, the Bay Area Brawler himself, Skyler. Skyler, takes over from here.
I feel so bad for Sesame Street. That was so unnecessary. So we're here to discuss Summerfest, Jeremy Piven's biggest party of the summer. I went into the show with minimal expectations, yet I find myself looking back on the show with mostly fondness. There were surprisingly good moments on the show, unsurprisingly bad segments on the show, and booking that makes me wonder just how much they listen to the programming we all create on a consistent basis. Let's take a dive into a show that refused to end, shall we?
Does it transfer back over to me?
It does. By the way, that's the other thing, too. This show had 11 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Do we even watch the pre-show?
What do you think, Skyler?
Well, the answer is obviously no. I don't think Sean watched it either.
This is Sean's notes on the pre-show. Fuck da pre-show, said in my best iron chic. All right, here goes something. And that's literally it.
Okay, the pre-show match was Big E defeating Baron Sabin. Or
Don't
Baron
care.
Corbin.
Don't care.
Because it ended with Big E getting back the Money in the Bank briefcase after Baron Corbin stole from him on SmackDown. And then he proceeded to make out with the briefcase in a way that would make Andy jealous of Joshua.
Wow. And I was about to make a joke about poor people stealing things as a stereotype, but you really took the wind out of my sails.
So Joshua, I suggest you get on your game, man.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, we have another match that we have to talk about.
So we
team opener.
We actually started the show with the Raw Tag Team titles on the line. RK Bro, Randy Orton, and Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles and Omos. What did you think of this match, Skyler?
RK Bro trying whatever they can possibly do to avoid the brick shithouse. The problem was that in order to do this, they had to beat AJ Styles, which I guess it's fine. This was a good tag team match opener. It's just, I hate that they had to protect Omos and have to make AJ Styles the bitch.
I love how Randy Orton, during his comeback when they made the hot tag, he would hit AJ, go over and punch Omos, who wouldn't move, go back over, do something to AJ, run back over, punch Omos, who still wouldn't fall off the apron, and then he finally had to kick him in the leg to get him off the apron. I thought that was actually pretty funny.
It's like Roman Reigns did not get this kind of booking when he was told to be kept strong.
Just stay on the apron. He's going to run over and punch you. Don't move.
Don't move unless he kicks you in the shin.
Sell by squinting.
Don't even sell. No matter how much it hurts. He could be cutting off your fingers and you're supposed to look at him like he's just a fly.
Pretend that it's a mild inconvenience and move on.
Speaking of mild inconvenience, Randy Orton, that mustache, man.
Oh, God, I hate his mustache so much. It looks weird.
You're going for that Rick Rude mustache, I see.
It's not working. He needs a rude awakening in the shape of a mirror.
Okay. Now here's a question though. These are two tag teams that are put together even though they should not be tag teams. That's very clear, right?
Very thrown together.
How did Randy Orton and Matt Riddle work together?
I thought they did all right. They're very much going for the odd couple thing with these two, and I think they can pull that off well because, a lot of the time Matt Riddle was trying to dance around and get Randy Orton to be a bro, and Randy was like, I'm too cool for this shit. Which I like that.
It's not Matt Riddle's first even odd couple pairing because he was tagged with Pete Dunne.
Well, Matt Riddle's kind of weird, so I feel like anytime he's ever going to be in a tag team, it's going to be this.
Unless he teams with RVD.
The Broserweights. Anyway, continue.
WWE must hate tag team wrestling because...
What was your first clue?
They can't put tag teams that are actually tag teams together to open the show.
Remember,
you have to have a single star and somebody else tag together.
Remember at WrestleMania when they had Mandy Rose and Lana as a tag team and they literally admitted on commentary that they were thrown together?
No, that was Carmella. No, that was Naomi and Lana.
Oh, yeah, that was.
Mandy Rose was together with Dana Brooke. Well, and what do all those women have in common? Nipples, because that kept going on the show. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah. But honestly, I thought this was a pretty decent opening tag match. I mean, it was your standard tag team affair. They almost was doing practically nothing, just doing basic power moves. AJ was bumping all over the place for Randy and Matt Riddle. And then they did a comeback, and Randy Orton won with the RKO. I thought it was a pretty decent... The crowd was into it, but there wasn't really anything to this match. It was a good opener.
Almost is really fucking green.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I mean, he's getting better, but it's one of those things where it's like, what can you do with a guy that big who doesn't really move that well?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's possible he could move well. It's just like, for fuck's sake, give this guy more matches, man.
Yeah, he needs a little bit more practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, there was nothing really to this match. It was very basic, very simple, and it was all right. And the crowd popped for it, so I thought it was a decent opener. Now,
it was a decent opener.
Now, jumping over to Old Man Note Taker. Match 1, RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos. Sean, it's O-M-O-S, not O-M-A-S. Omas. I'm gonna call him Omas from now on. Oh my ass. Anyway, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I missed a lot of this match. Bear with me here as I was wrestling a bear over merchandising rights and a 2-day-old tuna fish sandwich. I was trying to tell the bear that the fish was no good. He just swiped at me with his gigantic paw. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Am I being politically correct when I say that the birds that flew out of Riddle's toes are pigeons of... They're pigeons of color. I don't know. I guess I'm racist.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
So apparently he can get away with the racist stuff on your show because Elfberg doesn't work on this one.
Elfberg works on my other show, not this one. Elfberg just sees this show and just solemnly shakes his head.
Yeah.
And also, why? I've still not gotten an answer to this question. Why do birds fly out of his toes?
Because he's weird, and he's got to do something weird.
AJ's moonsault DDT was beautiful. I miss AJ's singles run. Randy hits an RKO out of nowhere to win. The crowd was pretty into it from what I saw, moving right along. That's all he has for that match. So, just like me and you, a subtle thumbs up for our opening matchup.
That's not what we can say about the next match.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Remember when I said that the WWE must hate its women division? Well, up next we had Alexa Bliss versus Ava Marie and Piper. I'm not calling her Dewdrop. What kind of name is that? Who came up with Dewdrop?
I have no idea.
What is a Dewdrop?
It's a shit.
I wonder what Piper Niven feels about her new name.
She probably felt about the same way she felt about this match. Shaking her damn head. So, not gonna lie. During this part of the show, I had to go make dinner, so I decided to proceed to make dinner. And then I didn't watch it. Then I watched it the next day. And you wanna know what I thought to myself, Joshua?
Why did I go back and watch this?
No, I said I have more fun making dinner than I would have watching this match.
Oh, God. I would have more fun battling syphilis than watching this match again. This was awful. This was atrocious.
This is the two extremes of why WWE's women's division is awful.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand, you have a really, really shitty gimmick in Alexa Bliss and whatever the hell Lily is that was borrowed from The Fiend and bastardized So basically, they fired the creator of The Fiend and came up with a less creative, less interesting version of it and gave it Alexa Bliss, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Then you have the other half, which is the Johnny Ace women hire that are hired purely because they are sexy but have no ability to wrestle whatsoever. And I was making this joke in our group chat, like, maybe Ava Marie could be a manager, and you were like, no.
No, get her off my TV. Absolutely not.
Now, granted, when I said this, I wasn't watching the match. I was making dinner. When I watched it back, I'm like, no, get this fucking girl out. She is a calendar girl. That's all she's good for. Actually, no, I'm gonna take my words back. She's good for two things. She's good for being on the calendar and giving you a blowjob, and that's about it.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Eva Marie's a fucking hoe. Like,
yeah.
Have you seen her other stuff, by the way?
I hate her, so no.
Like, she's got to where she is because she's hot. That's all it is. That's literally all it is.
Literally everything she did in this... Like, whenever she walked around the ring, it looked weird, awkward, and phony. She cannot walk without looking awkward and weird.
And the worst part, by the way, is that she's from my neighborhood area in the Bay Area. Normally, I try to root for those people, right? Because I try to root for the hometown people. Fuck rooting for Eva Marie.
I think you're rooting for her to move to a different location.
Yes.
Jesus, like literally everything she did in this match looked terrible. She cannot bump, she cannot sell, she cannot walk without almost tripping over herself. She cannot run the ropes, she cannot do moves, she cannot do promos.
And the worst part is they have to straddle her with a woman who actually can wrestle, as you and me both know.
Oh my god.
Piper Niven, this is the only way they could get Piper Niven to be on the show, is to have her be a sidekick. And I hate this. I hate every single part of this. Yeah, I know Piper Niven is different, and because she looks different, and she's not Vince McMahon or Johnny Ace's idea of eye candy like Eva Marie is, she's not going to get the opportunity, which is bullshit. The opportunity should be given to talented women who happen to look good, not women who look good but suck ass.
And you can't even say that it's because she's a larger woman, because they love, like, eating Nia Jax all day.
Well, hold on, Joshua. You shouldn't say those words. You shouldn't say those words. No one wants to eat Nia Jax.
Well, apparently someone in the booking committee does, because, like, it's not even that they have anything against larger people, because they like pushing Nia Jax and have in the past. Why?
But Nia Jax is related to The Rock. So if only Piper Niven was related to Stone Cold Steve Austin, maybe we would have a chance.
Or Hulk Hogan or something.
Nepotism.
The fact that they look at Eva Marie and Piper Niven and they see Eva Marie as a star, that is everything wrong with WWE right there.
Now, here's the thing. You want to know what they should do, that I think about it?
What?
So, because Eva Marie has a look. Whether we like it or not, she has a look, right?
I've seen better. Continue.
Even if she is Botox the fuck up. And Piper Niven has the skill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, we need to do a fusion dance.
Don't ruin Piper Niven. I do not want Piper's DNA to be tainted by Eva's.
Well, I mean, they have to share the same space, so what are you going to do?
Imagine if
Sean's notes for this.
And Eva Marie would screw up the fusion dance, so we'd either end up with an anorexic fusion or the Veku version of whatever they would turn into.
They would get even fatter. They would literally become the wrestling ring that the people would be wrestling on.
Read Sean's notes before this goes any more off the rails.
Eva Marie versus Alexa Bliss. Dewdrops are falling on my head, and now my back is broken in 6 places. Why are they still doing this bit? Oh my god, John, you... Ugh. I was incredibly tempted to skip this match, considering that Alexa Bliss's career has been burnt alive, resurrected, and manifested into a doll, and Eva Marie is, well, Eva Marie. I wish Alexa Bliss wasn't doing this shit gimmick so I can admire her assets more. Still, though, Mamacita makes old man note-taker need his handkerchief and about 5 minutes in this food truck caravan porta potty. Oh, Christ, the smell. Never mind.
Jesus Christ. He's not wrong, though.
I mean, come on, man. Do you have to... Given what I've said about women in the past and how I feel about them, I shouldn't be surprised that Sean has the same feelings.
Yeah.
Ava Marie's best strikes all match were against a fucking doll. This match is such garbage. Alexa counters with the worst Lufez press I've ever seen in my life. Alexa Bliss does a sweeping DDT just like Lita, and the crowd couldn't give a shit. Fuck this match and everyone in it.
Yep. Oh my god, the finish was the worst part. I forgot to say. When she DDT'd Alexa Bliss, you know what you do? When someone hits their finishing move on you, and that's the end of the match. You roll over, and you get pinned. Not even Marie, no. She gets DDT'd on the top of her head, moves her hair out of the way, rolls the wrong way. Alexa has to roll her the right way, then covers her.
Like, Eva Marie,
holy
so
God!
Concerned about your goddamn hair. It officially takes over the Cameron split leg on top of Naomi and telling the referee to pin.
I don't know, that was pretty bad. That was probably worse. But still, this is up there. This is up there. Like,
no. At least you can make the argument with Cameron that she was a stupid person who didn't know any better. Eva Marie purposefully did this to protect her hair. She knows that it's her most important asset, and without her hair, she loses all her power. Let's talk about a good wrestling match.
I hope she goes bald. Anyway,
for the WWE National Championship.
The National Championship of the Nation. Damien Priest versus Sheamus for the WWE United States Championship. God, that interview was so hilarious. Just someone who clearly does not watch wrestling at all. That was so funny.
Like, even if you don't watch wrestling, at least pronounce the name of the fucking title right.
You know, if I was, like, in media and someone was like, hey, you want to do an interview for this wrestling show? And I was like, oh yeah, cool, that'd be fun. I would look up things about the company. Like, if I was going to be interviewing a champion, I would look up what the title's called.
Like, Mike Adamle could pronounce that championship name better. And that's a deep cut, folks.
Jesus Christ almighty. But yeah, so back to Sheamus versus Damien Priest. This match, it took a little bit to get going, but by the end of it, it was one of the best matches of the night.
That is a very bold statement, and I have to agree with you. The Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie killed the crowd. Damien Priest and Sheamus brought it back.
They resurrected the crowd.
And it was amazing how they did not give a shit about this match for a solid, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
During which, by the way, we saw the worst botch of the night.
Oh, God. Okay, so Damien Priest tried to go for a tope con hilo, that step-up one that he does. He did not go very far, and Sheamus did his best Miz impression by completely missing Damien Priest, and Damien Priest landed right on his back, and I think that actually messed him up for the rest of the match.
Well, at least it's understandable with Sheamus because he was in the position that he was supposed to be in. He did not expect Damien Priest to literally go half of where he was supposed to go.
Yeah.
And dude landed on his tailbone, or more specifically, he landed right on his ass.
Yeah, and at the same time, Damien Priest kicked Sheamus right in the face.
I mean, Sheamus had that mask on, which, by the way, made him look like Irish Batman. I'm Batman, fella.
I'm Batman, fella. I need a Scottish Batman movie right now, please. But yeah, that was a pretty gnarly botch.
It was, but they worked their way back. Mm-hmm. There are two things that help with this. First, Sheamus is great heel. Mm-hmm. He get the crowd motivated by continuously indulging them. He kept taunting them. He kept doing everything he could to get the people in. And Damien Priest, there is something about him. He can get people behind him. Mm-hmm. Also, he has the edge crazy eyes. And the edge crazy eyes are going to help you go a long way.
He has such an interesting moveset. That helps him.
Yeah, his moveset helps, but he has a charisma about him.
Yeah, he really does.
He's in the ring and he's firing the crowd up. He gets them excited.
Yeah, and also, this was a slugfest. They beat the crap out of each other in this match.
Sheamus only beats up people that he loves, clearly.
Yes.
Because Matt Riddle got his blood fucking nose broken at WrestleMania.
That was the most amazing bro kick of all time, in my opinion.
Drew McIntyre and Sheamus have had so many wars.
Yeah. This was another one.
This was another one. And the payoff with Damien Priest ripping off Sheamus's mask and kicking him directly in the face for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did his finisher, which basically is a crossroads when you think about it.
Yeah. The Reckoning Roads.
The Reckoning.
Roads. The Reckoning Roads. But, and also, there was at one point, Damien Priest tried to do a springboard something, but Sheamus met him with that bicycle knee right in the jaw. That was beautiful. It was brutal. This match was brutal. Like, honestly, this was a 3-match show. This was one of those matches. This was a great matchup. Again, the crowd was asleep at the beginning, but they just kept beating on each other and just going through it, and they got the crowd back on their side. It was impressive to watch.
I disagree with the 3-match thing, but this was clearly one of the 3 best matches on the card.
Absolutely.
Because I think there was solid matches in between this point and the 2 big matches at the end. Mm-hmm. But the point, though, Damien Priest, Sheamus, good work, boys.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now we go over to our good friend and colleague, the Colonial Champion himself, Old Man Note Taker. Match 3, Damien Priest versus Sheamus. I'm going to hot take this early when I say that this was the match of the night. They got a dead crowd not only to care about these two, but also the right guy over with a finish that made sense. What this accomplished for Damien Priest pushes this match over the 2 other great matches on this show for me. Repo Man would like that mask back, Sheamus. Wow. Another deep cut. I'd really like Sheamus to stop the constant identity-searching wardrobe changes. Every time I see this dude, it's a new look. The more I see Damien Priest, the more I can tell that this motherfucker is a star. Agreed. I don't really care for Sheamus posing while Priest was still on his knee after the white noise. Maybe push him off first and then pose. Both of these men know how to throw punches, which is always nice to see. Robbing fans of Sheamus' clubbing 10 count was a nice heat spot to get the fans more invested. I agree. I love it when Sheamus does that. I've made a comparison with Damien Priest and Undertaker. When I saw a tornado DDT, a rope walk spot, and a choke slam out of his arsenal. Sheamus done it now. He gone and made a big mistake.
God damn it. I knew he was going to get the fucking Biker Taker reference in there. Damien Priest is like a modern-day Biker Taker.
Mexican Biker Taker.
Mexican Biker Taker. Latino Biker Taker.
Latino Biker Taker.
Wait on, we'll get to the Latino heat later.
Oh God. Okay. You just threw me off with that. The only critique I have of this match is the 2 spots executed could have been finishes. The Alabama Slam / Dominator and the top rope spinning heel kick should have been saved for the end of the match. Watching Priest yell bitch and throw punches was a terrific moment. The crowd was successfully brought into this, and at this point I was glad that WWE gave these 2 the time to do this. Great finish. Damien Priest feels more valuable as a result, and Sheamus doesn't look weak in this loss. Well done across the board.
Could Damien Priest be a world champion like a year or 2?
I don't know about a year or 2, but perhaps maybe 2 years.
Here's the thing. He's 38, right?
Yeah.
So he's in his prime right now. I'd say if he keeps improving and he keeps getting the crowd behind him, in a year or 2, put the title on him.
Yeah, I would love to see it too, but I don't know. I think that might be a tad soon, but definitely I do see him as a future world champion.
Like give him a long reign with the United States title. This is the test.
That is what I'm worried about. That is what I'm worried about. The last long U.S. title reign that was a dominant one was Bobby Lashley. Other than Bobby Lashley as the United States champion, like, do you even remember who the United States champion was 2 U.S. champions before Bobby Lashley?
Apollo Crews, Andrade Cien Almas. Oh.
My point exactly.
God damn it.
My point exactly. I think it was Rey Mysterio.
No, it was Andrade Cien Almas.
Because
Apollo took the title off of Almas and then dropped it to Bobby Lashley.
I think Almas won it from Mysterio.
Yes, but no.
He won it from someone. I can't remember. See, that's the problem. The U.S. title, honestly, is a joke.
Well, it's not a... Well, we'll get to the joke mid-card title in a bit, okay? Hold
Oh, yeah, we will. But, I mean, I am worried about this because they do not have a good track record of, like, having a mid-card champion do anything. So, we'll see where they go from here. But hopefully, I'm praying that Damian Priest has a lengthy, decent U.S. title reign. Unlikely, but I'm hopeful.
We shall see.
We shall see. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. The Usos versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. What were your thoughts on this match, Skyler?
No, you said it incorrectly. It's the Usos versus Rey and Dominic Guerrero. Because they cannot stop fucking use Eddie's moveset.
It is practically necrophilia at this point.
They are literally sucking the teat, as Sean would say, of Eddie Guerrero's corpse. God damn it, Dominic.
And the Undertaker, like, there are so many, like, Vince McMahon himself is the Undertaker. Because he keeps digging up this corpse over and over and over again, putting it back in the ground, digging it back up again. Like, let the man rest, please. It's not 2006 anymore.
And if you're gonna do the thing of digging it up, do what I did and make it a gimmick, which maybe they are because they did tease dissension between Rey and Dominic Mysterio, which, again, they stole from me. Okay, if you're gonna have Dominic Mysterio going around doing Eddie stuff and then rename him to Dominic Guerrero, which I'm planning on doing in my storyline, stay tuned for that, folks.
Spoilers.
If you plan on turning Dominic Mysterio into Dominic Guerrero and have him feud against Rey, you basically might as well just hire me to be your writer.
At this point, yeah.
Like, I will take the $100,000. Oh, actually, I don't know how much WWE writers make. Do you know?
I have no idea. I know that there's probably a lot of booze that goes on with being a writer because I imagine being a writer in this company is a suicide mission every time you show up to the building.
Okay, so 61K to 94K? I'm not sure if that's going to be worth it. Well, yeah, but then I have to live in Connecticut. Fuck that. No offense, Sean, but it gets
wow, that's why I was laughing. Well, they're about to get wiped out by a hurricane, so.
Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Oh,
okay, all right.
By the way, all these jokes we're making were more entertaining than this match. I know Dominic is trying. I know he's really trying. He's still green as shit.
I've seen this match before. It was just, I just could not get invested in this match. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't bad. It's just I didn't care.
Because you knew the Usos were going to win. They're not going to drop the titles to the Mysterios after they've been involved with the Roman Reigns stuff.
And they didn't even do like a breakup angle after the end of the match. They just had the match, they lost, and then they moved on. And I was just like, this wasn't even the Usos' best work. Like, we've seen the Usos have fantastic matches with guys like the New Day, FTR, The Bar. This was not even close to what they can do. I didn't even see their match at the pre-show match at Money in the Bank with these two exact teams. I feel like that match was better.
It was, because there was more stuff interesting that was going on. I'm not interested in the Rey and Dominic Mysterio feuding thing. They literally just won the titles to become the first ever father-son tag team champions. You couldn't even keep the titles on them for more than 2 months.
And they gave it to a guy who has severe legal issues, especially when it comes back to some kicking back on Dad's cough medicine.
Well, I mean, you know, when it comes down to it, you need beer with money. Because you got some beer money. Okay, never mind.
Wow.
We're doing all the deep cut wrestling references.
All the deep cuts.
By the way, speaking of references, Pat McAfee screaming Hadouken is amazing.
Although I will say, there was one super kick in this match that one of the Usos gave Rey Mysterio that was a thing of beauty. Other than that,
the one where he did the springboard into the super kick.
No, the one where
Shawn Michaels and
that one was okay. It looked like it got Rey more in the chest, but there was one super kick where it got Rey right in the jaw, and they did slow mo, and it looked gruesome.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Other than that, this match was they had a better one on the pre-show Money in the Bank. What else do you say?
Pat McAfee, he's a national treasure.
Yes, he is. He is Nick Cage himself.
But like,
I bet he has a book of secrets when it comes to his commentary skills.
Like, there's so much of a difference between the interviewer with Damien Priest and the national championship, and then Pat McAfee, who clearly loves this shit, and he's not doing it for the money, he's doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Like, this is just good stuff, especially what will happen after. But let me go ahead and get into Sean's notes, okay?
Oh, dear.
Stop mentioning Eddie Guerrero. Stop mentioning Eddie Guerrero. Stop fucking mentioning Eddie Guerrero. The Usos did an actual tag by slapping the hand, no less. It's so sad that deserves praise nowadays. The Usos made a surprising mistake during their heat. When Ray came in to try and even the odds without making the tag, the referee held him back. Instead of using the distraction to double-team Dominic, the Usos just taunted instead of taking advantage and continuing to isolate Dom. Sean, why are you trying to get into wrestling logic?
Sean, not only are we reviewing a WWE show, this is the TAP. Are you sure that logic is what you should be looking for right now? Other than, the exit.
Pat McAfee screaming Hadouken is definitely why his voice was so shot by the end of the night. The hot tag was very well executed to maximize on Ray's entrance. Both Usos fed him well, and the crowd reacted accordingly. They weren't necessarily pulling their hair out in excitement, but enough to be serviceable. Stop mentioning Eddie. Stop mentioning Eddie. Stop mentioning Eddie fucking Guerrero. Having Eddie as a focal point in these Ray and Dom matches really does both of them a disservice. It takes the shine off of everything they do in the name of someone who died 16 years ago. Not everything has to be about involving Eddie. Hasn't WWE sodomized his corpse for television enough? Making this match about Eddie rather than about the feud that these teams have made me not give a fuck about the finish. This was an okay match, but nothing special or pay-per-view worthy. This did kind of feel like a TV match, huh?
Yeah, it really did.
Right. Now, don't forget the next time you're on Twitter to congratulate Damien Priest on being a first-time national champion. NWA would like to know your location. This is where the interview happened, by the way, that we're talking about. You can go back to the pay-per-view and watch it. I'm going to add the next segments to this piece, as I know you're going to nut yourselves about this Nakamura Boobs McAfee theme song circle jerk. What the fuck was the point of this when there was no match to follow it? We all wore white. We did it on purpose. I love you, Pat McAfee, but take this time wasting over-the-top snake-taint bite rather than this segment somewhere else. I'm sorry, but I love that segment. I don't care.
Well then. It was entertaining, but I was like, I legit thought he was going to have a rematch with Apollo Crews, but then they just ended the segment, and I was like, what? Alright, fine.
I would love an open challenge. Like, come on. Put Nakamura.
They could have just had Apollo come out there and do a squash match. Speaking of which, the next match, Bianca Bel-Air versus Becky Lynch, who returned.
Hold on. Hold your horses, Joshua.
I'm holding them.
So first, we were supposed to get Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks, right? No. Sorry, wrong match. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks, right?
No, Bianca Belair versus female Eddie Guerrero. Continue.
Do we have to mention that? Anyway,
yep, we do. Every single time, Skyler. Get with the program.
Fine, whatever. So we have Bianca Belair versus female Latino Heat. And apparently female Latino Heat was not able to compete because of injury. And they did the bait and switch with
Skyler. Latino Queef. Continue.
You can't see me right now, but I'm grabbing my head and squeezing it very tight. Specifically my eyes and my nose. I hate that pun so much.
Latino. Continue.
I can't. Just, you recap what the hell happened.
I don't think I can. Okay, so it was supposed.
No.
Oh god.
So anyways. So Greg the Hamwich Hamilton, that one's for you, Sean, announced that Carmella came out, and everyone nutted at the same time when they saw Carmella in basically a bra and panties.
And all of that oil.
And all of her oil. Bianca Belair was so disappointed, and I honestly thought same. Not that Sasha Banks is that big. Well, I mean, Sasha Banks is big, and going from her to Carmella was such a disappointment.
Plus, we've seen Bianca Belair versus Carmella like a trillion times by now.
Literally the SmackDown before, which was the day before, they wrestled against each other.
And the SmackDown before that. And the SmackDown before that.
No, but here's the thing, though. Becky Lynch's theme song goes off, and everyone popped. Every one of us. You, me, and Sean, all three of us, we popped.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time.
I did not expect that.
I mean, we knew she was coming back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then Becky Lynch comes back, and the first thing she do is she makes Carmella her bitch and takes her out.
I thought that was funny.
And here's where it goes bad.
Yep, and then Becky Lynch took a giant shit all over it.
Becky Lynch challenges Bianca Belair, and Bianca Belair's like, you know what, let's go. And then Becky holds out a hand to shake Bianca Belair as the match begins. Bianca goes to shake it, and then Becky throws a sucker punch and hits a, quote, manhandle slam.
Oh my god.
For the 1-2-3. And Becky Lynch is your new SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, here's my thing. Joshua, why do you not like this?
Well, for one, the manhandle slam is up there with the worst finisher names I've ever heard in my life. Also, way to make Bianca Belair look like the biggest dipshit on the planet.
Right, and it's not like you can't tell the story of having Becky Lynch take the title from Bianca and then Bianca chase her and win the title back. Why did you have to make Bianca look so stupid in accepting that challenge and then losing in 26 seconds?
They could have had a semi-competitive match.
They could have had a semi-competitive match. Or better yet, if you're going to do this, have like Carmella come in, do a distraction to Bianca, and then Becky rolls her up.
Yeah.
Like, you could have done almost anything else that would have been a justified... You can even have Carmella come in and attack both of them and DQ so you don't get the match, but you can promote it later. Why would you do this other than to put Becky Lynch in a position where she's the heel, obviously, because of the way that she was celebrating and everything, and her eyeshadow, which we'll get into in a second.
No.
But Becky Lynch is the obvious heel and Bianca's the babyface. So obviously we're going to do the story of Bianca chasing Becky, right?
You'd think, yeah.
Here's my question, Joshua. Do you have any faith in WWE paying it off?
Absolutely not. Not. I have so little faith that it turned me German.
Exactly. Now, do you want to know what makes this even worse?
What makes this worse, Skyler?
I did this damn angle literally this week. I have Becky Lynch return, attack Piper Niven.
Yep, you attacked Piper Niven backstage.
And then the Horsewomen attacked the fucking New Blood, and Becky was the one who grabbed the title and held it in the air. Fucking, they took everything but the part where I didn't give her the title, because I wanted to promote to that, damn it.
Now, you didn't want to hot shot it immediately, Skyler? What's wrong with you?
Because I didn't want to bury Toni Storm after Toni had a long title reign. Because I want her to look good, damn it.
But Skyler, that makes new stars.
Becky Lynch is 35.
But Skyler...
The only reason why they possibly could have done this is because that Becky Lynch is rusty and probably would not have had a good match.
Probably.
Which is fine. Which is why don't you do the roll-up?
Or why not have Becky Lynch come out there and challenge Bianca later?
No. I just don't.
And another thing that pissed me off about this, after getting humiliated, you know what Bianca's doing on the outside? Smiling like, you got me, ha ha ha, I'm dumb. Why was she smiling?
So, let me get this straight, okay? After WrestleMania 36, you have 3 new women's champions, right? You have Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Raquel Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
You bitched out Rhea Ripley, you bitched out Bianca Belair. Raquel Gonzalez, I hope you watch your back, because you're going to get bitched out too.
Well, I don't know. She's in NXT, so I think she's safe. Because NXT...
They're going to call her up, and she's going to lose to one of the horsewomen at some point.
No, they're going to call her up, and she's going to lose to Bayley or some random person in a 4-minute match, because they're going to get a roll-up in the ropes.
Well, first off, Bayley has an ACL tear, so that's not happening. Second, it's Charlotte. You know they have to make everyone tap out to the queen, even tall people.
Jesus.
Get the Sean's notes.
Oh, dear. Match 5, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. Welcome to the We Don't Give a Fuck section of the show. There will be another match under this umbrella, and funnily enough, it'll also involve the women. I know, that is so sad. That is so sad. It's just an indictment of, like, how they book the women on these shows. This angle went at least 7 minutes too long. Everything was milked way too long for time. Carmella's newest music is the actual worst. I'd rather have I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt as ring entrance than listen to that again. Just a side note, but I am, in fact, too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts. I agree.
Okay, are all three of us doing this show shirtless?
Apparently.
God damn it.
Free the nipples. Free the man boobs. Free the moves, Skyler. Free the moves.
Free the nipples.
Free the nipples.
Well, I didn't see any nipples tonight, so I'm not happy.
Let's go watch WrestleMania again. Why the fuck would Mella and Vega help Sasha Banks after she beat the piss out of them to save Bianca? Seeing Becky get that big of a pop was really nice. It shows that they could book women successfully, but choose not to. So Becky can just make title matches that she hasn't earned in WWE, just allows that. Isn't that what Adam Pearce is for?
You have to remember, Becky asked if Bianca wanted to put the title on the line. Bianca said yes, and then they did the title match.
While we're on the subject, I ask yet again, what does Sonya Deville do? No one knows, Sean. We will never know. Oh god, and the next part, not this way. He's turning into sad babyface Michael Cole whenever the heel wins. Not this way. Are they trying to sow the seeds of a heel turn? What did Bianca do to deserve losing this badly? The crowd hated this, and they tried to hide it with Kevin Dunn pumping in crowd noise. Guaranteed Becky will be healed by WrestleMania. Bianca was the only one... Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let's ignore it. Let's move on. I did not call her Bianchi. Was the only one outside the horsewomen, and Rhea was filling in the women's division. Why the fuck would you beat her like this? WWE's apathy towards its women's division has been well documented by the three of us, yet it still boggles my mind that people actually think this shit is progressive. I'm going to progress onto something equally meaningful as this. A sloppy all over the toilet bowl scatter and splatter diarrhea dump.
I think all three of us agree that this was the worst part of the show.
In a way.
This was the worst booking of the show.
This was the worst booking of the show.
Because they took a bankable babyface star and made her an idiot. Now here's the thing. Becky Lynch heel turn is very bold. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why I did it on my show. It's because I wanted to be bold. But I wanted to be bold in a way that made sense.
But, like, here's my problem with this. You can't just do heel turns all the time. That's what WWE does. Other than Bel-Air and Toni Storm, I guess. Although we haven't seen her on SmackDown in a couple weeks. What babyfaces do you have in the SmackDown women's roster?
Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan.
Sorry.
Tag team.
Sorry. What I just vomited is as green as Shotzi's hair, and it is as green as Omos and Dominic Mysterio combined. Dominic and Omos should be a tag team.
The Green Men.
the mean green machines.
Here's the thing, though. It's like they don't have a deep women's division on either show.
Nope.
They combine the divisions, and then maybe you could do something like this, because then you would have enough challengers for Becky Lynch. I don't want to do this because it leads to more problems that's going to happen, and it's just not going to be good. We'll
get to this later, but here's a depressing thought. You know who the biggest female babyface is on Raw? Nikki Ash. Rhea Ripley is a tweener. Rhea Ripley is a tweener.
They literally fucked up Rhea Ripley. I don't...
they hate the fact that they have a women's roster. How can you watch the show and come up with any other conclusion?
They hate having to treat the women as equals.
Yep, they really do.
They were perfectly fine with treating them like lingerie models back during the Kelly Divas era.
Yep.
But the second they had to take them serious, like, fine, we're going to give you some scraps, but you guys fuck off. Fuck off.
That's basically what this is.
And it's like, think about this. This company is progressive. They literally had the main event one of the 2 nights of WrestleMania. And 5 or 6 months later, they make them look stupid. I don't know how they do it. Now, the only thing I can think is they've done this to the men before, so it's not just a women's thing. It's a WWE problem.
Yep.
But what else is new? Next match, please.
It's having a 70-something-year-old man at the head of the table problem. Anyway, up next we had Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. What were your thoughts on this match?
Why the fuck did they have this squash match on a pay-per-view?
Why did they have 2 squash matches right after each other? One right after another.
Did anyone buy for a second that Jinder Mahal was actually going to beat Drew McIntyre?
Nope.
Well, Sean said it in a joking like, this is how they bury Drew. They have Jinder Mahal beat him. Thankfully, they're not that insane.
It would have been more interesting than this. Honestly, this match, Jinder did a few things. He nailed one gnarly-looking super kick, because Jinder does have a mean super kick. But then Drew just beat him and beat him and beat him and beat him and beat him, and it was over.
I know Drew McIntyre has cooled down since his WWE title reign, but at least he's still over, and that makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is the part of the Drew McIntyre babyface train where it's just like Roman Reigns' babyface train. We're like, we're not going to keep you in the world title picture. But what we're going to do is we're going to give you some mid-card matches, so that way the people will stop hating you because you're in the world title scene too much.
Yeah.
Do I agree that Drew has been in the world title too much in the last 2 years? Yes. But is that partially because they don't know how to book him correctly? Yes.
Yeah. You mean having Randy Orton beat him for no reason just to give him the title back 2 weeks later is not smart booking?
No, my argument is having The Miz beat him. That was worse.
But hey, at least after The Miz did that, he got eaten by zombies a month later.
That doesn't make me any better. well, actually, you're incorrect. First, he lost to a rapper. Then he got eaten by the zombies.
Yes, he lost to a mean bunny. He lost to an evil bunny who raps, and then he got eaten by zombies. And now he keeps squirting people with his drip stick.
We'll get to that segment later.
This is a PG show, by the way.
For the love of fucking God, WWE, stop cock teasing with the sword swinging. Either have him decapitate someone or don't bring the sword at all.
Can you decapitate Alexa Bliss, Ava Marie, or Nikki Ash?
Do Eva Marie because at least Alexa Bliss is hot.
Yeah, and there won't be any blood because Eva Marie is literally made of plastic.
She's a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. It's plastic.
It's not fantastic at all. What did Sean have to say about this?
Kevin Dunn, you better use that shiv I gave you after I saw your teeth off to defend yourself from my industrial-grade flamethrower I'm bringing into that production truck. Can you not put in B-roll during an entrance just once? The animations all night for the show were just stupid.
Oh God, I forgot to mention the one during the Bel-Air thing. That lips thing with the hair was... My poor eyeballs cannot deal.
Like, I know you're in Vegas, but can you not do the Vegas-grade cinematics? At least put some effort into it. This is the worst part about WWE. They have all the money in the world, and their production looks like it's a Las Vegas show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm expecting something better, please.
And they're also running on a streaming service that is one of the biggest networks in the world, except the streaming service is absolute garbage. So one company that has more money than it knows what to do with, and the resources to make good things, not trying and making garbage, teaming up with another company that does the exact same thing. So now I understand why they are business partners.
AKA fuck NBC.
Yes.
Drew is more over now than he was during the last months of his title reign, which is good to see. Once Drew brought the sword down with him, I immediately knew I'd be disappointed. WWE doesn't have the balls to use a legitimate Claymore to cut a heel's lackey in half. Drew sold like a champ once Jinder hit the standing sidekick. I like Jinder, but Jesus, Mary, and Baby Joseph, his selling is absolutely atrocious. That's a reference. Well, that's another thing too. Jinder cannot sell.
Nope.
One Claymore, and that's it. Thanks for coming, Jinder.
He hindered the gender. Kind of like this company does.
Jinder Mahal should never have been WWE champion.
You think?
They should have made him United States champion.
They did.
No, first. Then maybe build up to WWE title.
No, they did. This is WWE. We do things backwards.
If Shinsuke Nakamura was Indian, he would have won that championship. God damn it.
That is so true.
They literally did the wrong affirmative action.
WWE. Japanese people love pro wrestling. What?
Indian people don't. Put the title on the Japanese person.
Yes, there's an absurd number of people that live in India, but not one of them is interested in wrestling. Japanese people love pro wrestling.
And you have legitimately one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time. Put the damn title on him.
No, we're going to put the Intercontinental title on him. Call him King Nakamura. Set him up with Rick Boogs so they can boogie with Pat McAfee and then cut to black.
Again, I love that segment, and you cannot make me hate that segment. But god damn it, Nakamura should have been world champion at some point. And it's never going to happen now. It's just like Cesaro.
Don't you love
Think about this. Cesaro got one world title shot, and he hasn't been seen since.
Nakamura's title feuds were losing to Jinder Mahal and kicking AJ Styles in the groin.
Well, he lost that feud by being kicked in the balls.
Yep. One revolved around Jinder. The other revolved around testicles. Don't you love WWE, Skyler?
At least it didn't involve any almost superheroes.
Up next, we had Nikki Ash versus Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Triple threat match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. What were your thoughts on this match, Skyler?
It's a women's triple threat.
Yep, that is exactly what it was.
This was an empty calories match, okay? Listen.
That I know exactly what you mean.
Let me get to the heart of this, okay? The only reason why Nikki won Money in the Bank was so we could get Charlotte the 12 title reigns.
That's so stupid.
That's literally the only reason.
It devalues the belt. God, continue. I'm upset.
I do not care how many times you can call yourself a blank world champion. It should be the quality of your reigns, not the quantity.
You are barking up the wrong tree, my friend.
The only reason why Ric Flair won 16 world titles was because he did the thing where he would cheat, and then he would lose the title, and then get it back very quickly because it was a heel thing. Honestly, Ric Flair, he is the reason why all this is happening, including the part where his seed became Charlotte Flair. And let's be clear. Charlotte is a great wrestler, okay? None of the three of us hate Charlotte as a wrestler. At least she's very good. If this was Nia Jax, it'd be even worse.
Oh, hell.
But the thing about it is that Charlotte, as good as she is overpushed, oversaturated. I don't want to see her. Rhea Ripley is dead.
So bland. Charlotte is so bland, and she's good in the ring, but she's boring. She has no personality other than I'm Ric Flair's daughter. Skyler, did you know that she's Ric Flair's daughter? We've only been told a million frickin' times.
And my boyfriend is Andrade Cien Almas.
That too. I do not care. I cannot get into any of her matches, even when she has really good matches like at Money in the Bank with Rhea Ripley. It's Charlotte. I don't care.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, is that because it's Charlotte, you know that they're going to bury someone. And they buried Rhea Ripley to make Charlotte get to 12 title reigns.
Yep.
You couldn't give Rhea Ripley a long title reign. At least with Bianca, she got the SummerSlam. As much as I hate that finish, at least Bianca Belair got the SummerSlam and got a couple of decent wins. Rhea Ripley got nothing.
Yep.
She didn't get a clean singles victory at all.
She got a disqualification by hitting someone with the roof of a table, which has never caused a disqualification before. How could you forget that, Skyler?
And she won a triple threat. And she won another triple threat. What is it with the Raw Women's title and triple threats? We just got past the whole champion and challenger teaming together to fight for the tag team championships. Now they have to ruin it with triple threats after triple threats after triple threats. I'm tired of multi-man matches. That don't make sense.
Oh my god, like... And this wasn't even a bad match. Like, it was fine. I just could not get into it because I don't care. Charlotte is boring. Rhea is dead. Nikki should rename her gimmick to Nikki ASG, a shitty gimmick.
Well, we should also mention that this match had good moments, had bad moments. We literally saw Charlotte Flair do her moonsault. She barely hit Rhea Ripley. She destroyed Nikki Cross.
She murdered Nikki. She nearly caved her skull in on that corkscrew. She must have heard a lot of people complaining about her moonsault. She was like, you know what? I'm actually going to try to murder someone with a moonsault so you guys will shut up.
It would be one thing if it was Rhea Ripley because Rhea is big enough that she could probably take it. Nikki is smaller and got destroyed.
I think she got smaller after that moonsault, actually.
Yeah.
A compressed spine.
And of course, the finish with Nikki Ash having to tap out.
Yep.
You had to make her tap out. Rhea was already dead. You couldn't... I don't know.
Everyone has to tap to the queen!
Apparently.
Did you know that she's the queen, by the way?
Woo.
Have we mentioned that she's the queen yet?
Woo.
God. Decent match. I hate everything about it, though. Like, what is Sean... Oh, yeah, I have Sean's section on this.
Woo.
Yep, I have Sean's section.
You know it.
I have a feeling... And here's the thing. Wow.
I'm gonna drink some beer tonight.
I'm gonna see some girls I don't like, apparently. And if you thought we hated everything about this, ladies and gentlemen, boy howdy. So, Sean's notes. Match 7, Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley versus Nikki Ash. Jesus fucking Christ, here we go again. I am so done with all triple threat matches. There's hardly any story, it's all spots done in order based on shit they pre-planned beforehand, and I can never suspend my disbelief properly. Mike Rome is the Canadian bacon to Greg Hamilton's Christmas ham. Wow. God damn it, Corey and Saxton bicker so often together they should just fuck each other and get it over with. The sexual tension you put Jimmy Smith in the middle of is palpable.
Wait, what? Repeat that sentence.
Corey and Saxton bicker so often that they should fuck already and get it over with. The sexual tension you've put Jimmy Smith in the middle of is palpable. That is what that says. They've made a Jimmy Dean sausage biscuit sandwich, all right.
Oh my god!
I think we just took a year off of Skyler's life with that one.
That was good. Continue.
I really hate how Nikki poses in the middle of her moves. It's credibility destroying, as if the gimmick didn't do that already. That is true. And like when Charlotte and Rhea were struggling to pretend to brawl outside the ring while Nikki could get into position to do the crossbody to the outside. It took forever. Probably, we didn't see this because the camera wasn't facing towards her, but I guarantee you she was doing a stupid pose and taking forever before she did the dive because this gimmick sucks. Anyway. Remind me why they decided to kill the Charlotte Ripley feud for this. Nikki did better than she did at Money in the Bank. She actually hit one dive she was responsible for this time, after she took forever. Charlotte does a regular moonsault and misses. Charlotte adds a corkscrew and nearly kills Nikki. Maybe just take the moonsault all together. Maybe take the moonsault out altogether, Charlotte. It gets worse with it gets worse with each plastic surgery you get. That is true. That is true. Charlotte wins, LOL. Anything to beat her dads who they don't want to be in the shadow of record. Because WWE doesn't give a fuck about their women's division. I don't give a fuck about WWE's women's division. It may be sexist, but I could have used 2 less women's matches on this show if this was the grand total standard of excellence they're going to place them under. I agree.
Oh my god.
This review is going places. This review is going places, Skyler. Are you prepared for this?
Now that we've gotten the bad shit out of the way, the next match was... Well, the next... 2 out of the next 3 matches were really good.
Well, the bad stuff makes a relapse, but we'll get back to that. Up next, we had what was, in my humble opinion, the best match of the night, Edge versus Seth Rollins. This was the match that I was looking forward to most, and my God, did it deliver. What did you think of this match, Skyler?
Oh, yes, it delivered. Edge versus Edge Light. But first things first, Seth Rollins stealing Shawn's jacket.
Yes.
But way to steal the gimmick, brother.
Yeah.
But that compares nothing to Edge's Brood entrance.
Oh, he looked so edgy. You see what I'm doing there? You see what? I want to die. And so does Skyler. This is going to be the first podcast with no one because me and Skyler are going to die.
Apparently. But these two know how to work.
Oh, absolutely.
And the story of the match was very simple. Seth Rollins wanted to stomp out Edge's neck and injure him again.
And one thing I loved about this match, we did not get Edge kicking out of the curb stomp in this match. Seth didn't even hit the curb stomp in this match.
And that's great because I hate the finisher spam, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Yep.
But they did a great job with Seth Rollins working on Edge's neck the whole time, and Edge fighting back and fighting back and fighting back. And you know what makes this even better, Joshua?
What?
I did this feud already. I swear to fucking God, they're stealing my shit.
It is hard to deny at this point.
By the way, during the group chat, I texted this to both of you. Part of how I write NWL is I look at WWE and say, what would they do, but how would I make it better? And it's just like, I don't get it. At this point, I should be paid royalties for the feuds they have.
Yeah.
I mean, but give me nothing away. This was great. This was the best story before the match. The spots in this were all good. Edge's spears, man, they were good.
Oh yeah, Edge has the best spear in my opinion in the company. I mean, his spear is better than like the last few years before he went into retirement. Like he put some oomph into these spears nowadays.
Well, his 10-pack helps, which
that is true.
Pat McAfee was really grateful because boy, that 10-pack.
Absolutely. You can grate cheese on that.
Is Edge in the best shape of his entire career?
Probably.
Like, even when he was younger, he was never this jacked.
That is true. Like, remember like before he broke his neck with that match with Eddie Guerrero, bringing up Eddie Guerrero once again, he was jacked. He has never been this jacked.
Right. Seth Rollins, I know we have said bad things about you in the past. You were great this match. You were the heel that we wanted you to be. And there was great stuff. That frog splash that Rollins did. The Phoenix splash that he almost hit but didn't quite hit. The pedigree from the spear counter.
Oh, yeah. Although I will say the one that Seth Rollins gave to Roman Reigns looked cleaner, looked smoother, but it was still a cool spot nonetheless.
The only issue I have with this match is that I feel like Edge could have won it a couple of times with different finishes. Like, could you imagine if he had won with the Glam Slam?
Oh my God. I marked out when he hit the Glam Slam. Because at first I thought he was going to go for the kill switch. But he was like, I'm smarter than all of you. I've done that before. And he pulls out a Glam Slam because that's his wife's finishing move. That was awesome.
Better than Beth Phoenix did. I'm sorry, I love Beth Phoenix. Maybe it has to do with the women that she was working with because Divas era. But Edge's Glam Slam was so slick and so smooth.
Now we need Beth Phoenix to return one more time to hit someone with a spear.
Well,
and do the pose in the corner.
She shows up a lot at the Royal Rumble, so give it a little bit of time.
And we got to see the return of the Educator submission hold.
That's another, like, the Glam Slam was the first time they should have ended it. The Educator was the second time they should have ended it. Not that I don't mind the crossface that he won with. Like, what did he... was it crossface or like a...
It was like a crossface sleeper hold.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I'm glad he won with a submission because doing the spear with a pinfall, while good, was not quite as emphatic as Seth Rollins tapping out.
Yeah, that felt like a feud ender right there.
And let's see where Edge goes. I mean, he's in the best shape of his career. I know Roman has other things, but I would not mind a run back of Edge and Roman. Hell, I would not mind Bobby Lashley versus Edge.
Oh, that'd be good too.
Even if Bobby Lashley has something else. Anyways, let me go ahead and read the notes for this.
He's fighting another dude who uses the spear, just not as good. In the same universe as good.
There's a thing though. There's so many people who use the spear in WWE. There's Roman. There's Edge. There's Bobby Lashley. There's Goldberg.
Charlotte.
Edge is the smallest of the men that use it, but he definitely has the best looking one.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, Edge's Brood entrance was badass. It wasn't my favorite gimmick in its heyday, but the entrance is iconic. Perfect way to refresh the crowd from the same old, same old. Rollins' work on next Edge wasn't too overdone in this match. This is what infuriates me about WWE. They know how to tell good stories when they want to. Oh God, Joshua, you ready for this one?
Oh no.
Fucking Christ, Kevin Dunn, I swear to God, I'm gonna develop a time machine, go back to the night your folks made you, and chop your father's dick off before climax, you fucking sucking ass. If I had $1 for every major moment you nearly do miss with an instant replay, I'd never have to write notes again, you fucking sucking, dip-glugging, beaver-tooth mouth, plum twat.
Wow. Omega Elfberg is appalled. Appalled. But he can't do anything because this isn't his show. But he's just staring.
Joshua, Elfberg approve. Elfberg say Kevin Dunn sucks.
Penis.
Anyways, Seth Waluigi Rollins. Give this man a tennis racket and an assist trophy this instant.
Yep.
Pat McAfee called Rollins Frog Splash 5-star. Thankfully, RVD was too high to notice and sue. On this day, I see clearly every neck is broken. Spears from the outside never look like they're going to kill Edge. I forgot how well he did it. Stares at Big E on the pre-show from the main show.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. Edge did a spear off the apron, and Big E Langston, I love you. But this is how you do the apron spear without dying.
Well, maybe he's too big, E.
Continue.
The suplex Falcon Arrow spot never wins anything and has lost a bit of its appeal on that basis.
It won a single match.
Rollins kicked out of the deal.
It won a single match against Dolph Ziggler on Raw in 2019, but other than that, it never wins any matches.
Could you imagine if Edge had won with the best Grand Slam? Yes, we know. Spear in the pedigree corner wasn't a bad idea, but I can't imagine a universe where Rollins could get Edge's arms up in time where it didn't look coordinated. I guess that's the best we could get. The Rollins one with Roman was much better.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what are you gonna do? I would have loved Edge's Educator as my favorite version of Edge used it constantly. What they went with instead was just as good.
You know what I was thinking? Since I went back to the Brood, you know what? I would have popped if Edge pulled out a downward spiral. That was his first finishing move.
I don't think Edge would be able to pull off a downward spiral at this point. I mean, he could try. It's like AJ Styles' spiral tap. You know he has one left.
Yeah.
This match was really good. It went a bit long, but was fun and engaging nonetheless. If Sheamus and Priest hadn't stolen the show with accomplished earlier tonight, this would be the match of the night frontrunner.
Honestly, between Damien Priest and Sheamus in this match, you can just take your pick as the best match of the night, and you would not be wrong.
Exactly. Shall we move on to the next match?
You were talking about spears, good sir. We have Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg, Skyler's favorite wrestler, for the WWE Championship. Your thoughts, Skyler, about your favorite wrestler?
Can Kevin Dunn not do the fucking cuts between the audience and Goldberg during his entrance? You fucking beaver tube cum twat.
So Skyler will be joining Sean in the time machine to cut off his dad's pee-pee.
Not only that, I'm sodomizing the mother, too.
Okay, taking it up a notch. Why don't you just, cut her vagina off? Anyway, this is getting weird.
Anyways, let me get to the match itself, okay?
Also, speaking of Kevin Dunn, did you notice when he cut to Gorilla randomly and no one was there? Because I noticed it.
We all did.
God.
Anyways, so before this match started, I asked you guys over under 3 minutes. and you said under.
Mm-hmm.
And I said under 2, and we lost.
Mm-hmm.
This match somehow went 7 minutes.
Yep.
They did a good job, at least pacing. This is the one thing I will agree with, is that they did a good job of pacing it.
Yep.
And for what this was, they did the best that they could, because you knew Goldberg couldn't have a long match.
Goldberg looked awful in this match. Bobby Lashley was trying his damnedest in this match, but Goldberg picks up Bobby for a slam, almost drops him. Goldberg picks Bobby up for another slam, almost drops him again. Goldberg tries to throw him off the top rope. Bobby Lashley almost lands on the top of his head. MVP tries to hit Goldberg in the leg with his cane, and Goldberg sells it 2 seconds after being hit with it. Jesus Christ, on a bicycle.
Right. Now, here's the thing, is that most of this match was a beatdown by Bobby Lashley once Goldberg got his offense in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give Goldberg credit for something I never thought I would say in my entire life.
That is?
Goldberg was a decent actor.
Well, minus the weird delayed reaction to getting hit in the leg by MVP, his selling afterwards was good.
No. Here's the thing. Have you watched any Goldberg movies?
No. I know he was an evil Santa in one.
He was an evil Santa in one. He was a convict in a prison movie with Adam Sandler. That's something fun. But anyways, point is, if you've seen Goldberg's movies, you know he's a shitty actor, as much as being a shitty wrestler right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is actually good at selling his leg, to the point where I was wondering if he was actually hurt because he's too old.
Yeah, he did get you with that one, because you did message the group chat. You were like, is he, like, legit injured? And I was like, no, it's just kayfabe.
No,
they kayfabed you.
That's the thing, is that I thought it was real, up until the point when Goldberg's son got involved.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when they were doing the chair thing, I'm like, no, this is kayfabe.
Yeah.
But I will give you credit, Goldberg. You don't get much from me, but at least you know how to sell a damn leg.
Just next time when someone hits you in the leg, immediately sell it.
If anything, he should have done the Almas thing where he looked at MVP and was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. And then Bobby kept beating on Goldberg. He won via referee stoppage, which means at least Goldberg didn't win yet. But he kept beating on him. Then his son jumped in, and I like that his son jumped in and Bobby slammed him and then put him in the hurt lock. So at least they're making this super personal. I thought the angle was good. What this means going forward in the future, I hate, but the angle was good.
Like, the whole idea of the referee stoppage is fine, but the problem is that it was not a definitive win. It wasn't Drew McIntyre beating Goldberg at the Royal Rumble.
Nope. Which
means that there is the possibility that this could continue. And we didn't want to do one match. I don't want to do two. And I hate the fact that Goldberg potentially could take the title off of Lashley.
I'm thinking we're going to get some kind of stipulation match at Extreme Rules.
If... watch it be like a 2-on-1 handicap or a 2-on-2. I don't know. It's gonna be
Why are they trying to get everyone's son into wrestling now?
Nepotism.
We're going to eventually have Dominic Mysterio versus Goldberg Jr.
You don't even know his name.
No, I do not.
Oh my goodness.
But enough about our opinions of this interesting development. Let's go over to Old Man Note Taker's notes. Match 9, Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. Goldberg looked blown up the moment he walked out of the backstage door. Correct. There's no way Goldberg is 285. I get padding weight numbers, but that seemed a tad overboard. Lashley's getting cheered, and I'll bet the 100 pesos I robbed from the homeless Mexican at the end of my street that WWE genuinely thought Goldberg would be cheered. He's right about that. Lashley taking Goldberg to task was fantastic to watch. While this was Goldberg's longest match since 2016, it didn't feel boring or meandering considering it was all to make Lashley look good. I am 100% okay with the referee stoppage ending this match. It keeps Goldberg from winning this title and destroying Bobby's title reign. Wait, fuck. Omega Elfberg, get your ass down here and pick up your namesake. I don't want to watch another cunt-state geriatric hoss fight. We don't need a rematch of this. This was much better than expected, though with no expectations, it's not saying a ton. I guess there's more to come with this feud than I know. Skyler's jimmies are officially ruffled, just like the chips I'm going to shove up my ass for the shits and giggles. That was interesting.
Now that we've gotten the shit out of the way, let's go to the main event.
Our main event, ladies and gentlemen. Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against John Cena. And earlier you said you weren't a fan of finisher spam matches. I was going to say, tell me that John Cena's wrestling in a match without telling me John Cena's wrestling in the match. You would have responded by, it's a finisher spam match. And I'd be like, oh, okay. But yeah, this was Roman Reigns versus John Cena. What did you think?
This was a good match, but it was a John Cena main event match, which means you know that he's going to continuously use the AA, and as much as you use the AA, it's not going to do anything.
Yep.
I like the fact that John did the first AA, Roman kicked out, and John's like, yeah, I knew that was coming.
The attitude adjustment was the majority of John's offense in this match. He sold and bumped for Roman most of this match.
Is it me, or did this feel like an extended version of the Brock Lesnar John Cena match from SummerSlam all those years ago?
Not really, because Brock Lesnar brutalized John Cena. Roman was just hitting him with moves.
Well, yes, but also,
like a tamer version of that, yes.
I guess. Well, I mean, Brock was just spamming German suplexes all night, so...
Each one looked disgusting, though.
Each one looked disgusting. Is it true? Now, part of this match, I did kind of lose it because I was in the middle of dinner, if you will. Is it true that Roman, during the match, got a microphone and cut a promo?
No, what he did was he hit John Cena with something and then looked directly at the camera and got the camera's attention and said, Hollywood, listen, movie directors out there, I'm going to hurt this man, and I'm going to send him back to Hollywood. I'm going to destroy your star. Don't send him back here. I'm the WWE. Don't send him back to WWE. I'm going to hurt this man. And it was freaking hilarious.
But the only thing is that apparently Kevin Dunn kept camera cutting during that, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Can you keep a still shot for 1 second, Beavertooth?
Can we fit 3 people into this time machine so I can cut off baby Kevin Dunn's penis?
Why not just his head? Why not just his head?
No, I want to make it a little weird. Anyway, so...
Oh, please, if you wanted to make it weird, you could just go for the ass. I mean, come on, man.
How do you cut someone's ass off? I guess I could just cut his cheeks off.
No, you cut the hole. Anyways.
What? Anyway, back to the match. Honestly...
So John Cena hits the AA regular.
Yeah.
And then John Cena hits the AA for the announce table, which... mandatory table spots.
Yep.
And then John Cena hits the double super collider world dominatrix triple A grade AA from the top rope.
Yes.
2 counts.
Which we've seen that before too.
And then John Cena pulls John Cena from the match versus The Rock, the first one.
He does.
And does the taunting and mimicking of the man's finisher before losing to the man's said finisher.
Yep. And I will say the best thing about this is it only took 1 spear from Roman Reigns to win.
Part of me wished that John would have gone for the lightning punch. I called for it in the chat. I'm like, imagine if
the 6th move of doom!
Imagine if John wins with the lightning punch.
Oh my god.
Like, this match was fine, but let's be clear. It was very predictable. Mm-hmm. The whole Roman losing, he would have left WWE thing was so last minute.
Yeah.
But that was just because a certain other show had a certain person debut in a certain city.
Yeah.
CM Punk.
Yeah.
Chicago.
AEW. But yeah,
so
when they announced that, it practically guaranteed and confirmed that he would win this match.
But then the other thing too, though, is the post-match.
Oh, boy howdy. So, Roman Reigns wins, and as he's celebrating, Brock Lesnar comes back out, which popped me, because I love Brock Lesnar.
No.
It
You
was...
are not selling this correctly. Samurai Viking Brock Lesnar.
Samurai Viking. Tree chopping redwood Brock Lesnar comes out.
Because Brock Lesnar rocks the Viking beard with the samurai ponytail, and god damn it, my babies were born. Be honest, like, my babies were born, and I'm a male.
My dripstick was, like, full-on tsunami mode at this point.
Oh, we forgot to mention the John Morrison, Miz, and...
It was John Morrison, Miz. They were dripping sticks in the middle of the ring. I'm sure children were watching and very uncomfortable, and their parents were upset. And Xavier Woods was doing the absolute worst Razor Ramon impression of all time. Who cares?
He didn't even sell it that well. Like, goddamn.
So, yeah, and did you see the video on Twitter... After the show went off the air, Brock Lesnar German suplexed John Cena several times and hit him with an F5.
That was something I wish we could have seen.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do it, but then they cut to black, and then I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, I knew they were going to do that.
And then they did it after.
Yep, they did it after the show went off the air.
It's just disappointing. Anyways, the point, though, is that this was amazing. Like, I just loved watching Brock Lesnar come back. And hell, Paul Heyman.
Ooh.
He is going to be so interesting.
Yeah, Paul Heyman has to choose. It's Sophie's choice. It's Paulie's choice.
Oh, god damn it. But it's just like, Paul Heyman, he's going to do... Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. NXT starting?
Oh, yeah, there's an NXT show tonight.
Fuck me. Anyways, point, though, is that Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, this is interesting. Like, this is something... I know they repeated the formula with Money in the Bank where Roman beats his challenger and then a part-timer shows up.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
But god damn it, this is going to be so good. Like, this is something that all of us can look forward to in watching, because this is the best version of Roman Reigns, and he's going up against arguably the best version of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and the crowd actually liked Brock when he came out.
Babyface Destroyer Brock Lesnar, Samurai Viking, give it to me.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. What can I say?
Yep, and you want to know something funny though? For a second, when I saw the jeans and the shirt, I thought it was Jon Moxley.
Man, Jon Moxley got buff.
No, I'm like, no, Jon Moxley ain't that built.
Yeah, yeah. I like how we had a similar idea right there.
Anyways, let me go ahead and read this main event part from Sean.
All right.
I don't like WWE self-indulgery calling Cena the GOAT. Well, let me tell you something, brother. Wu might have something to say about that, but he's too busy at Space Mountain, Mexico chopping Kenny Omega. Camera guy zoomed in way too far on Cena's shirt, and it was hilarious. I don't know how much I care for Super Mario Bros. 3 design of Cena, but it worked, I guess. Also, Cena, god damn it, what happened with the bald spot in the back of the head?
Yeah, that was a little weird. This is old man Cena.
He has borrowed the same haircut from James Bond from TMNXT.
That is the deepest cut of the night, ladies and gentlemen.
And I just remember Packer going, shaving the back of the head, shaving the back of the face.
The icebergs, who could forget? They were gonna sink the little cruise that could.
I'm responsible for the Riddler, and I am not apologizing for it.
He had sex with the title belt, and his first title defense was against Ronald McDonald in an Inferno match.
Okay, we're going way too far.
I wonder how many people listening are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
We're just going off into space. Anyways, watching the guy who's carrying the camera guy's cables desperately fail to keep up with Cena and the camera guy running down the aisle was pure entertainment.
I didn't notice that.
Well, I have to go back and watch John Cena's entrance, because apparently the entranceway for the SummerSlam, by the way, was way too long, and John got tired during the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Can you at least make it a shorter entrance? Or make it a straight entrance? Why the curve? Whatever. Fuck Greg the Hamwich Hamilton. His nose is looking more piggy with each passing day. I've forgotten just how many stare bumps Cena has taken over the years. Triple H would be proud. It was nearing midnight as this match was going on, and the fans were still hot. We were going in the 4th hour of this show. The crowd kept up their energy. I'm proud of them. Oh God, Joshua.
Oh no.
Are you ready for this one?
Oh, no.
Kevin Dunn, I will drive to the library, find the oldest relative I can find of your bloodline, travel back in time, and stick a barbed wooden stick up his or her poop chute. Then, I'm going to take a fish gutting knife to the balls, babymaker, and ending the Dunn family reign of terror. You missed the 3/3 of Roman's mid-match promo, you fucking beaver tooth cum swat.
Wow. We have reached time travel levels of hatred, ladies and gentlemen.
Dimensional shit.
Dimensional shifts level of hatred.
This match had a great story, and they both executed well. Cena is still dog shit at concealing the fact that he's calling spots.
Yeah.
I love you, John. I really do. But your mouth is too big.
I really don't, and I agree.
Good gravy. Cena's 5-knuckle shovel might be one of the worst I've ever seen. He didn't hit Roman. He hit the mat first. Roman Reigns rocks red underwear. The more you know. Damn it, John. Why cue the mandatory table spot. At least it was in the main event. Do all of Cena's matches have to be an AA finisher fest? It just emphasizes how right Roman was about missionary position every single night.
Yep.
This match ended up being no exception.
That is every John Cena match. He has to do a bajillion attitude adjustments and do a bajillion finisher kickouts because he's not good at anything else. Continue.
One spear was all it took, and that simple of a finish made me extremely happy. Well, let it be known that ACPW booked Brock Lesnar's debut return mere hours before WWE did theirs. I'll be expecting my royalty checks in the mail immediately.
So they're not only... They gutted NWL on this show, and they're also taking shots at ACPW.
They literally took all of my ideas, and then they were like, wait, we need more ideas. Okay, let's borrow from the other guy.
Yeah. They're coming for SCCG next. They're going to reinstate Santino. He's going to go absolutely nuts, change his name, attack a hardcore guy.
Well, what else did you have happen on your show besides that?
Ted DiBiase Jr. trying to be a babyface.
And?
Piper Niven not being Doudrop.
Well, besides that, what else?
More Japanese people.
No, not that.
What else do I have?
I'm talking about the Bray Wyatt part.
Oh, yeah, Camp Firefly. That's right.
Because they're going to bring back Bray Wyatt. Well, actually, he may go to AEW. That's... Never mind.
Well, I swear to God, if he goes to AEW and they do Camp Firefly, I'm suing. I'll lose, but I'll still sue.
Samurai Viking Lesnar looks so fucking badass. All in all, a great way to end a surprisingly good pay-per-view. That's the thing, though, is that if Roman Reigns had just won and they went to black, that would have been a flat ending to the pay-per-view. The Brock Lesnar thing, so much hype.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that ending to the pay-per-view is really what made it so memorable, at least for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, while WWE still put the bad and the downright ugly on the show, I admit that I had more fun tonight than I've had watching a WWE pay-per-view in quite some time. By no means perfect, but a serviceable event with several matches to be proud of. When will WWE care about their women's division? Just like how many licks it takes to get the center of Joshua's lower intestine, the world may never know. Pass it off to
I can't wait till Sean finds out the answer to that burning question. But anyway...
I feel like Andy may know the answer to that.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
Pass it off to Joshua for one final word.
Alright, so what does a show like SummerSlam 2021 get for a rating? The wrestling itself was mostly good, the finishes for the men were mostly good, and while the segments were cancerous, so is the char from grilled red meat, so I guess I can tolerate it. The show gets a 7.37 out of 10, very technical and specific. And I'm actually somewhat looking forward to what comes next. I know I shouldn't, but damn it, that's what I'm going to do. Now, if you'll excuse me, old man note taker is going to top dollar prostitute waiting for him at his hotel. I got to swing by the grocery store to pick up a saddle and a set of jumper cables, and then I'll be ready for the slipperiest nipples this side of the Mississippi River. Peace out, buttercrotches.
Top dollar prostitute, is that what you're calling Joshua's mother? My God.
Wow. How did he know that she was a fan of jumper cables?
I mean, anyone who's been to South Carolina is a fan of jumper cables.
You know what? You're right. Me and Andy tie each other up with jumper cables. Then we use them. Anyway, continue.
Ignoring the really weird fetishes aside, SummerSlam was a good show. There was bad stuff. Let's be clear.
There was very bad stuff.
It's WWE. There's bad stuff. That's what happens. But there was enough good that I can legitimately say I'm going to enjoy watching what they do next. Mm-hmm. Which I say with caution because they've broken my heart before, especially with B pay-per-views.
And with the women's division.
We're not even going to mention the women's division. I've given up hope on the women at this point.
Yeah, me too.
The little one or two hopes I have are gone. Like, maybe Bianca Belair will be different. Dead. Nope. Maybe Rhea Ripley will be different. Dead.
Nope.
Toni Storm, I fear for you.
Run! Run, Tony!
Run, Tony. Anyways, point is, I'm giving this show a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed SummerSlam for what it was. There was a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff, and the good stuff was outweighing the bad stuff, so I can say that it was interesting, to say the least.
I think this is a TAP first. I'm actually going to give the lowest score. I thought that this was a good show. Not a great show, not a okay show, but somewhere in between okay and good, so I guess a decent show. There were some...
It wasn't a good show.
Oh, no.
It wasn't a bad show.
It was the show. Aha.
No. You should have said, well, it's a big show.
I'm giving this show a 6.5 out of 10.
It's a big, bad show tonight.
That is true, especially when, okay, so there were 3 matches that I thought were at least good. Edge and Rollins was fantastic. Sheamus and Priest was also fantastic. Cena and Roman was really good, despite the fact that it was a finisher fest. And there were some good matches here and there. The women, God, the booking of the women killed it for me. The book, literally every woman's segment on this show, just complete apathy or sheer disgust from me. No in between. It was one or the other. And I still have some issues and questions here and there, like them constantly going back to the well with Eddie Guerrero. I'm giving the show a 6.5 out of 10. I can't give it more than that with how they treated the women on the show. And some things just weren't all that great. But I did enjoy those 3. If you want to go back and watch the show, just watch the U.S. title match, Edge and Seth Rollins, and the main event. Just watch those 3 matches, skip everything else. So yeah, I'm giving the show a 6.5 out of 10.
Fair enough. Now, we're going to break into a very quickly News of the Week segment with Joshua stealing the entrance from the CMP. Roll the clip.
Coming straight to you from the Golden Gate Garage, this is the Wrestle News with Skyler Greenberg.
I was actually thinking about doing that before we even went on the air for this review. But since you did that, I'm going to do it again!
Coming straight to you from the Golden Gate Garage, this is the Wrestle News with Skyler Greenberg.
Anyways, point being, CM Punk has returned to AEW at Rampage. We have to talk about this, Joshua.
Oh, because, CM Punk just happens to be, someone's favorite wrestler. It may or may not be me, but,
And the biggest story in professional wrestling, and by far the most interesting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Did you watch his return?
I watched it, and I hate myself. Because Joshua, here's the thing. I hate myself because I'm not a fan of CM Punk the person. Mm-hmm. I'm not the biggest CM Punk wrestling fan. Do you want to know what I did during his entrance?
What?
I popped.
Wow.
And I hate myself for doing it.
I did too. Mostly because he had his music, Cult of Personality. I was not expecting that.
No, Tony Khan's going to shell out top dollar for that.
I know, but there were fans, grown men in the arena crying.
They said his name so long that he ran out of song.
I know.
It's just amazing. Now, here's the thing, though. I'm assuming you're watching AEW All Out.
I definitely will.
I have an announcement to make.
Oh, no. Don't do it, Skyler! Don't do it!
in light of CM Punk coming back, I will watch that pay-per-view, and I will review it.
Oh, no. So, Skyler's funeral will be the day after All Out, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can all attend.
And hopefully I don't get any paper saying I'm fired.
Maybe or maybe not, we can have open casket so we can jerk off on the dead body. But anyway, so...
I am willing to watch All Out, to watch CM Punk, and whatever else is on that show is whatever else is on that show. Here, do you want me to give you the match card for it, by the way, that they have so far?
Go ahead, just lay it on me. Lay it on me thick and wet.
Women's Casino Battle Royale. Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage again.
Ooh, I would enjoy that.
Pac versus Andrade El Idolo with Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Definitely would be interested in that.
Paul White versus QT Marshall with Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo.
Next.
The Young Bucks versus the Tag Team Eliminator winner.
Okay.
It hasn't been decided yet. And then CM Punk versus Darby Allen.
Take all of my money. Take all of my money right now.
So, I will be watching that CM Punk match. And why Darby Allen, though?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to that match, though.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it, too, but it's just like, you're trying to build up Darby Allen as a babyface, and you're going to have him go up against CM Punk?
Yeah.
I don't care if Sting's with Darby Allen. CM Punk's going to fuck him.
That's going to be interesting to watch. I mean, we'll have the first ever have sex or you have an orgasm and you lose match. But between CM Punk and Darby Allen, the GTS go to sex. Anyway, this got a little weird, but thank you guys so much for listening to the TAP.
Imagine if Brock Lesnar has sex with Darby Allen.
I mean, he put his penis in the Kimura lock. But anyway, we're out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and Darby Allen, did you know that he paints one half of his penis?
Okay.
Good night, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And go like, comment, subscribe to the Court Martial Podcast, CIW, Totally Awesome Wrestling, the Yeet Dream Team, all that fun stuff. Good night, everybody.